Next hour, President Trump is expected to announce a new public safety initiative in Washington, D.C. The president tweeting this preview of today's reveal, saying our nation's capital will be liberated today. The news conference will detail what is likely to be a large-scale increase in law enforcement presence in our nation's capital. Officials tell NBC News President Trump is considering deploying up to 1,000 National Guard troops. Do you have any more you can add to this, Garrett? And what do you think he means by liberation?
Well, look, Mika, we saw a little bit of a preview of this over the weekend with the president deploying some of the other federal law enforcement entities that are available in the District of Columbia to do local law enforcement work. FBI agents were out working overnight shifts. You saw Border Patrol, Park Police out on the streets. We have that reporting that he's considering deploying the National Guard, which would have a big, kind of visual impact on D.C., but may not provide the kind of long-term solutions that he's looking for. Now, the White House is billing this as a press conference. We will see if the president takes questions. But if he does, I'm hoping he will be asked about whether he intends to address the court systems in D.C. or the truancy rate in D.C. schools. Washington Post has had some great reporting on this, that you've got something like a third of D.C. local school students who are truant over the course of the last school year. That has contributed to local crime in D.C. Whether this is something that will be kind of a big show from the president, a visual influx of law enforcement out on the streets in D.C., perhaps in the kind of heavily walked tourist areas of the city, perhaps all around the district, or whether it will be a more fulsome effort to address the bigger issues that contribute to crime in D.C., which federal and D.C. local statistics show is at a 30-year low, I think are very much open questions that we will hopefully get answered in the next hour.
All right, NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett Haake. Garrett, busy day ahead. Thank you for starting it with us. Reverend Sharpton, let's get your take here on what we just heard from Garrett about the president's efforts to mobilize federal law enforcement, potentially even the National Guard, into Washington, D.C. We talked earlier on the show. Look, crime has been an issue in some manners in D.C., though the overall crime rate has really dropped in recent years. The president's critics say this is him trying to make a political statement in a deep blue city.
No, there's no doubt in my mind it's him making a political statement in a blue city that has a black mayor. Karen Bass, a black woman mayor in L.A. He dealt with the whole deportation thing. It is interesting that he is very selective on what he does, because he hasn't taken the same stand in New York, where his son's still here going to school and all. So you have to really wonder, is this showboating to play he's going to do something? Let's remember, he's a man that pardoned scores of people for violating the law and beating up policemen January 6th in Washington, D.C. He was president then. He did nothing about it, said nothing about it, and pardoned them once he got back in. So the man that pardons people that beats up cops is going to make a big announcement at 10 o'clock on what we're going to do. Yes, we want crime down, including the criminals from January 6th.
Right.